Hey, it's not 12 a.m., but this is technically still the same day. It's now 12 p.m. And I have another video idea. So I want to start trying to upload more often. But anyway, so I previously did a several-part video about a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stand tier list ranked on power. And while that's one of my favorite anime, Ben 10 is one of my favorite cartoons. In fact, it's actually mostly what my main webcomic is based off of. So I decided, let's do a Ben 10 tier list. I've done this particular one a few times just out of fun, so I have a general idea of where everything's going to be. And we're starting off with a strong one. Once again, this is based purely off power and combat abilities. Aliens that rank low aren't bad aliens, they're just bad in combat. So right now we're starting out with Ghost Freak. Ghost Freak is a very, very powerful alien. He's got telekinesis, he can possess people, he can do all freaking sorts of stuff. Like Kuro the Artist has said on the ink page, he can just pull powers out of nowhere. But I don't know if I would call him God tier. God tier is for like the, well, I'm not going to say their names, but the really strong aliens. You know, the ones that could like freaking wreck planets, destroy gigantic mountains with ease. Ghost Freak is definitely A tier, but I think he's just a little too weak to get into God tier. Next is Cannonbolt, who's going to be in the pretty much the same tier, just because of his destructive power and surprising speed given his size. So yeah, Cannonbolt's going to be A tier. Also, these are not going to be put in order. Like, the first people in A tier are not going to be objectively stronger than the last people in A tier. It's just, I don't rank them like that. Anyway, next is Wildvine. And Wildvine is an interesting case, because on his own, he's not very powerful. But with his ability to, like, camouflage and blend in with vegetation, he can be really powerful. And he does have exploding seed bombs, and can supposedly regenerate, grow thorns, and swing all around. He's very agile. But in terms of raw power, he's very good in combat, but he's not strong enough, not fast enough, not tough enough to go above C tier. Now, obviously, Wildvine's still useful. He's going to be able to easily contend with most enemies, but not to a level that would be above C tier. And next is Buzzshock. And I have to put Buzzshock in B tier, not just because his name starts with B, but because if you remember the episode that Buzzshock debuted in, these nanowants are very capable. Like, we saw what one of them was able to do, repeatedly replicate, and basically take over the technology of an entire small town. And obviously the raw power isn't that great, but the fact they have pretty much raw power in the sense of Wildvine, being that they're more powerful the more stuff they have around that they can use. But in a place like Ben 10, or a world like Ben 10, there's a lot of random tech going around. Like, they could take over a phone booth, apparently, which isn't that technologically advanced. And in the Ben 10 world, where you got, like, big robots, you got high-tech gadgets all over the place, you got plumber tech, Buzzshock will pretty much have no shortage of stuff to use. Oh, next up is one of my favorite, very underused aliens, Arctiguana. And the reason I like Arctiguana is mostly because he's overused, but also because I really like ice powers. So Arctiguana is a bit of a tough case, but I think B tier would be fitting. Because they were able to freeze a massive body of water with Vilgax 10,000 inside, like, very rapidly. That's a little bit terrifying, honestly, because that means that it would pretty much just be one blasted boom, you're encased in ice. It's terrifying. But other than that, Arctiguana isn't really that powerful. Like, we don't get to see much of him, so maybe Ben could make gigantic ice structures like Big Chill later on, but we'll never know, because they didn't use him. And next is the alien whose name, like Carl the artist, I objectively refuse to say. Benwolf. You all know what the other name is. It's Blitzwolfer. So Blitzwolfer is very agile, very strong, very capable in one-on-one combat, and has that powerful sonic howl. Plus those claws. If you saw the scene in Omniverse, on like that clock tower or whatever they were on, Benwolf is very capable in more than just combat. But in terms of purely in combat, he's not that fantastic. Obviously, he's still going to be above average. But Benwolf is either going to be C tier or B tier. I'm going to have to think about this one. Alright, I've made a decision. I cut for a little bit. I'm going to put Benwolf in C tier, and then see what other aliens end up in C tier. And if I think Blitzwolfer belongs in a higher tier, I'll move him up to B. Speaking of which, we have a C tier right here. Snarrow. Now, if you remember that really good game that I really want to play again, Ben 10 Protector of Earth, there were that Kafans, I think that's how you say them, they could like swipe and make tornadoes. I don't think we ever see Ben do that, but biologically speaking, he probably can. But since we've never seen him do that, no way to know. So we're gonna put him in C tier because he's not that powerful. The next alien up is Ben Victor, otherwise known as Frankenstrike. And Frankenstrike might actually be another A tier, because we've seen that he has hyperintelligence until it was retconned stupidly, and electrokinesis, electromagnetism, and he's compatible with technology, which I may have mentioned before. We thought that he could attach pretty much a rocket to himself and fly through space. That is some scary potential. And it's clear to see why the Scare had Victor as, you know, his right-hand man, essentially. Alright, next up is Upchuck. I think I gotta put Upchuck in B tier, because Upchuck can eat pretty much anything. I mean, they have a pocket dimension stomach, and they could eat the sub-energy and spit it out into the sky. They could do that with pretty much anything, other than a celestial sapien or a Kustar's energy blast or something. We don't know much about the sub-energy, we just know it was stupidly powerful. But yeah, B tier. It looks like we've got a nice little box here. Man, hands down, my favorite alien, Ditto. But unfortunately, Ditto is Echo Echo, but worse. Yeah, he's not that capable in combat. Anyway, Heat Blast. I remember that as a child, Heat Blast was able to make this gigantic fiery explosion that, like, caved in this gigantic cave in the Fountain of Youth. But I'm trying to remember other feats that he had as older Heat Blast. Well, either way, that one feat as a child would put him in A tier. Heat Blast is really powerful and has surprising control over fire. Eye Guy may actually have to be an A tier as well, just because of his sheer versatility. I mean, he can do like lightning, fire, energy, ice from his eyes. He can hit you with pretty much every single element in the book, except for Earth. Even then, he could probably still kind of do Earth. Alright, next is our first God tier. Way Big. You know what, I'll try an impression. Whoa, check me out. I'm not just big, I'm way big. Yeah, he's an obvious God tier. They're born from cosmic storms and have star-level power. I was like, how could they not be God tier? And next up, Swampfire. Swampfire is going in B tier. He can control plants, he can release gas and stuff, he can shoot flames from his hands. but he's not that strong. Like, he's one of Ben's go-to aliens. But he also kind of gets owned a lot. Not that much, but he does still get owned. His regeneration is very good, though. So next up is Echo Echo, and I think Echo Echo might actually be A tier, because they have pretty much limitless duplication, and with like Echo Chamber and Wall of Sound that can contain massive explosions and reflect projectiles, and you get one of them to surround you, they just absolutely, literally wail on you. That can be pretty devastating. It is pretty much just Echo Chamber now that I thought of it. So next, Humongousaur. Obviously, another A tier. The Alien Force playlist was pretty damn stacked. But Humongousaur can obviously, tank a lot of damage, dish out a lot of damage, and grow bigger to be stronger and tougher, while becoming debatably slower. An ability that they kind of forgot later on. But still, when it was used, it was fairly useful. With really big quotes around useful, because honestly it just made him a bigger target. But yeah, he's pretty good. So next up is Jetray, who unfortunately has to be the second B tier of the Alien Force playlist. Because yes, I know the feat where Jetray was able to fly like light years and seconds, but that's in space. We've never seen him reach such speeds on land, or in the air, or even underwater. So it leads me to believe that while within gravity of a planet, or maybe even a star, Jetray can't fly that fast and requires completely open space. So without that, Jetray is still fast, very maneuverable in the air, and has those laser beams that can deal decent damage. Jetray isn't that strong, but his maneuverability is what puts him here. Alright, next is Big Chill. Big Chill is probably going to be A tier in intangibility, precise control over ice, flight, decent combat ability. Big Chill is a pretty good alien. Like, pretty much Ghost Freak plus Arctiguana. So obviously, since Ghost Freak is in that mix, I'm gonna be an A tier. I'm joking, there are other reasons. So next is Chroma Stone. Another one of my favorite aliens. I'm debating between A and B tier, though. You know what, since I know someone with a similar moveset who's gonna be in a higher tier, I'm gonna put him in A. Absorb energy, conduct energy. He literally calls himself a living conductor at one point, which I think was his first appearance, actually. And he was strong enough to get beaten around by Cash with that weird robot suit. I mean, his body is made of crystal and stone. He's obviously going to be pretty durable and pretty damn strong. And his blasts pack a substantial punch as well. Our next, Brainstorm. Am I really going to put Brainstorm in C tier? I mean, his combat abilities aren't that bad, but not that good. He's really intelligent, but he's never really amounted to that much in combat. I guess I do have to put him in C tier. Along with Spider Monkey. Spider Monkey's very versatile, very agile and crafty, but not that strong physically. Oh, it looks like I'm almost out of time. We're gonna have to make this a 2-parter, maybe even a 3-parter. So I will see you guys in the next video.